zero in on one of the most powerful FANG names. We've been talking about it, Amazon, because its annual 48-hour Prime event is in the final hours. And early figures show Amazon's Prime Day has helped drive the most online sales over a 24-hour period so far this year. So for more on Amazon and generally strong consumer spending, let's turn to Hubert Joly. He's Best Buy's former chairman and CEO, also the author of Heart of Business, Leadership Principles for the Next Era of Capitalism, which came out just last month. Hubert, it's so nice to talk to you again and have you on the program. I guess let's just start with Amazon, because that is the event of the day. It feels funny to talk to you about Amazon after it was sort of your biggest competitor for a long time, but you proved to turn around Best Buy and be a formidable competitor. What do you make of the importance of Prime Day to a company like Amazon that already has captured so much consumer spending with that Prime membership model?
Good to see you, Courtney. And yes, Amazon, what a formidable company, and their ability through Prime Day to create a shopping event that's, of course, way beyond Amazon now, because as we all know, Walmart, Target, Best Buy have all offered savings during that time. So they've created a new extraordinary shopping day, and part of retailing is about creating demands, and that's what they're doing. Of course, it comes in a very favorable consumer environment.
And so when you are a competitor to Amazon and you try to hold a competing promotional event, say a Best Buy, for instance, how does that end up working out in the end for Best Buy? Because you have people more interested in shopping online, there is a halo effect, is there not?
Yeah, it's an opportunity. I certainly don't want to speak for our good common friend Corey Barry, who's doing an amazing job leading Best Buy, but generally speaking, because Amazon has created this wind, you want to take advantage of it. So I think that's what all of these other retailers are doing, and the consumers benefit. So I think it's smart on the part of these other retailers to take advantage of it, for sure.
Mr. Joly, it's Karen. Thank you so much for joining. So as I'm sure we all know, the pandemic has been great for the Walmarts, the Targets, Best Buy, and Amazon. Do you think those are permanent share gains that they've gotten, or can anyone compete and take back share?
Well, I think we have a very favorable consumer environment. I think it's the biggest demand shock since World War II, so it's extraordinary. But it's been affecting different categories differently and different players differently. So categories that were hit hard during the pandemic are coming back. So if you think about apparel, I think it was the fastest growing category in the government's retail data last month. Travel and hospitality, of course, is going to come back. So you have shifts that are taking place. Now, the nesting trend, I think, is here to continue. So I would not, but everything related to travel and going back to work is going to be helpful. The other thing is, I think in retail, and Courtney, you and I have spoken about this before, there's an increasing differentiation between winners and losers. And I think what's interesting in terms of what's happening, it's now not just about the consumer, it's also about the employees. I think there was a report from the government that in April, you've seen the largest number of people leaving the retail sector as employees because of the low wages and the difficult working conditions. And so the successful retailers will be companies that are not only able to provide a superior value proposition to customers, but also to their employees. It's not just about the wages, it's about the environment. What I talk about in the book in terms of how you unleash human magic, right? So providing a growth environment for employees. It's interesting that even Jeff Bezos, our good friend, in his last shareholder letter said, yes, we've been focused on building Earth's most attractive company from a customer standpoint. We're now also going to do it from an employee standpoint. So you're going to see a lot of differentiation on that front as well.
Yeah, that was a line that was really pulled out of that shareholder letter, because it's not something that we've heard Mr. Bezos talk about that much, because he's been so consumer focused. And so you talked about the supply of labor, but what about in general the problems that are going on in the supply chain? That affects retailers from the largest ones to the smallest ones if you're a marketplace seller on a Walmart or on an Amazon. So what does that end up meaning for consumer spending if you can't actually get the products that you want to buy?
Yeah, because of the size of the demand shock, we are now supply constrained, which is a new problem that I think Best Buy's comps last quarter were plus 37%. I think I never achieved that when I was the CEO. So it's the question of product availability, lead times. You also have problems with the inflation of the cost of the supply. So it's a new problem that companies at all levels are dealing with. And so you can imagine what the growth would be if there was no supply constraint. I think it's probably going to work itself out, but in the short term, it's an issue.
Hubert, when I read once that you were, or I should say Best Buy was reliant on Apple for about 15 to 20% of sales a couple of years back. What have you learned from sitting in that seat on how big, square footage-wise, the footprint of the store should be, e-commerce, or what types of JVs to the companies that actually sell within your stores? How do you work through that and not become too reliant on any one partner, so to speak?
Yeah, so there's several questions embedded in your question. I think what has been our governing thought was always the consumer, right? So instead of trying to lead the consumer to buy online or in the stores, we would say, so what is the need of the customer and what's the best way to serve them? And then we're going to serve them as, whatever and however they want to be served. As related to the partnerships with the world's foremost tech companies, whether it's Apple, whether it's Microsoft, Samsung, even Amazon, with whom we partnered, and Google, other than the pandemic, I think there's another disease in the world, which is the idea of zero-sum games. Amazon was going to kill us, and the only way for us to not die was to kill Amazon, which would have been hard, granted. But instead, we focused on let's become the best version of Best Buy we could be. And I think partnerships are part of business. And while Amazon and Apple are competitors of Best Buy, we've partnered with them to the satisfaction of customers. As it relates to the size of the stores, that's going to be very interesting to watch. And I know that Corey is experimenting with a number of formats. He talked about it on the last earnings calls. The shift to online is so significant. When I started, it was 5% of revenue at Best Buy. Now I think it's around 40%. So of course it has implications on the store footprint, the role of the stores. Is it fulfillment? Is it very experiential? So what's the mix? I think the next 5 years are going to see a lot of evolution. It takes time, right? Because it's a physical asset. You cannot just switch it. It's not like online where you can do A/B tests and then you choose and 5 minutes after this, you're done. It's going to take a while, but we're going to see significant evolution of the role of the stores. No doubt that stores will continue to play a critical role, but it's going to be part great experience, part fulfillment, part convenience. So a lot of work to do on that front.
Yeah, that's right. And Corey is talking also about labor and retraining labor and having different types of labor in the store to adapt to those models. Hubert Joly, former CEO and chairman of Best Buy and author of The Heart of Business. Thank you for being here with us this evening.
So good to see you.
All right, let's trade it. Let's talk actually a little Best Buy. Why not? Karen, you own a lot of consumer names. What do you think about a Best Buy?
I missed the run of Best Buy. I missed his great tenure there mostly. But so for me, I'm in some of the other names we talked about yesterday. The Target's my biggest retail position. Amazon is a much smaller one. And then Walmart. I'm there with Tim. I like Walmart. I like what they're doing. The valuation isn't so stretched. But the best of the bunch to me in terms of risk reward is Target right here.
And hit an all-time high today.
What's interesting about back to Best Buy is they're playing around with an Amazon model in terms of what Amazon. Look, Prime now 200 million strong worldwide is part of that flywheel and part of what I think Prime Day is really all about, adding more of those folks and the stickiness of that. But Best Buy's been experimenting with an annual subscription, either for technology or an annual subscription even for trade-ins, and it's fascinating because again that gets people into the store, gives them confidence that there's someone there for them. It kind of gets into that fulfillment dynamic that we just talked about. But I think other folks are trying to determine what's the way that they can create their own flywheel. And I think for Best Buy, especially when you have obsolescence or you have refreshes in so many different products, that's pretty interesting.
I had a Best Buy service experience recently, and it was very good, actually. Yeah. And I normally had only shopped for actual
You're a device
products.
Geek?
So
Court?
I'm not a device geek, and technology scares me. And there was a coffee spillage situation, but Best Buy helped me recover some
your
pictures of the little guy.
You can spill coffee with this membership on your laptop and be good.
That's what they told me. That's what they told me. So
Steve, it's great for you.
Yeah, good to know.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.